Vince Russo says The Rock's return won't matter. Vince Russo just said that The Rock returning to WWE doesn't matter anymore and that ship has sailed, which is either the most controversial wrestling take of the year or Russo accurately reading the room depending on who you ask. The former WWE head writer went on Legion of Raw and basically said that casual fans don't care about The Rock anymore, that his recent bad press has turned people off, and that by the time WWE actually pulls the trigger on any Rock storyline, nobody's going to be invested. Welcome back to the Wrestling Hidden Insight, and today we're breaking down Russo's comments, whether he's right that the Rock star power has dimmed, why viewership numbers support or contradict his argument, and whether WWE should be worried that one of the biggest stars in entertainment history might not be the draw they think he is anymore. Let's start with what Russo actually said because context is important when we're talking about someone as polarizing as Vince Russo. On Legion of Raw, Russo mentioned that fans keep pitching a final storyline with The Rock, probably involving John Cena since Cena's on his retirement tour and they have history from their legendary WrestleMania matches. But Russo said it's too late for all that. He pointed to WWE's viewership numbers falling week after week, currently hovering around or below 1 million viewers for Raw, and said that even though WWE will always have their core audience, the longer The Rock stays away, the less people are going to care when he finally returns. Russo also brought up The Rock's recent bad press, referencing his involvement in politics and the Oprah situation with the Maui fires, and said that Rock turned a lot of people off with those controversies. His conclusion? That ship has sailed. The Rock's return won't have the impact WWE thinks it will. Now, is Vince Russo right? That's the million-dollar question, and the answer is complicated. Let's start with The Rock's recent absence. Rocky made a few appearances at the start of 2025 heading into WrestleMania season. His last appearance was at Elimination Chamber where he orchestrated John Cena's heel turn, which was a huge moment that got people talking. But then The Rock disappeared. He hasn't shown up to any TV tapings since then. He's been busy with his Hollywood career, his business ventures, and his role as a member of the TKO Board of Directors. The Rock has always been a part-timer in WWE, only showing up for big moments and then vanishing for months. That's been his pattern for years. But the difference now is that WWE's ratings have been declining, and Russo's argument is that The Rock's absence during this decline means his return won't provide the boost WWE is hoping for. The viewership numbers do tell a story. Raw is struggling to maintain 1 million viewers week to week. That's concerning for WWE even though they have lucrative TV deals that aren't entirely dependent on ratings. But from a cultural relevance standpoint, falling viewership suggests that casual fans are tuning out. And casual fans are exactly the audience The Rock is supposed to bring back. When The Rock returns, WWE expects a spike in viewership from people who don't normally watch wrestling but will tune in to see the Great One. If those casual fans have already moved on or are so disengaged that even The Rock can't bring them back, then Russo might have a point. The bad press Russo mentioned is also a real factor. The Rock got involved in some controversial situations over the past year. His handling of the Maui fire relief efforts with Oprah, where they asked regular people to donate money while they're both billionaires, rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. His political positioning and statements alienated portions of his fanbase. And while The Rock is still one of the biggest stars in the world, his public perception has taken some hits. Whether that translates to wrestling fans not caring about him anymore is debatable, but it's undeniable that The Rock doesn't have the universal goodwill he had a few years ago. But here's the counterargument to everything Russo said. The Rock is still The Rock. He's still one of the most famous people on the planet. He's still a draw in movies, on social media, and in any project he touches. His Instagram has hundreds of millions of followers. His movies make billions of dollars. And when he shows up in WWE, people still react. The idea that The Rock returning wouldn't generate buzz, wouldn't spike viewership at least temporarily, and wouldn't create mainstream attention for WWE seems hard to believe. Even if casual fans have tuned out of weekly WWE programming, The Rock is the kind of star who can make them tune back in for one night. That's always been his value to WWE. He's the special attraction that reminds people why they loved wrestling in the first place. The Rock versus John Cena storyline that fans keep pitching also makes sense on paper. Cena is on his retirement tour. The Rock and Cena had two of the biggest WrestleManias in history together. They're both megastars who transcend wrestling. A final match between them, properly built with the right stakes, could be a huge deal. The question is whether WWE can actually make that happen given The Rock's schedule and whether fans would actually care by the time it happens. Russo's point is that the longer WWE waits, the less impact it will have. And he might be right about that. Timing matters in wrestling. Strike while the iron is hot and you create magic. Wait too long and the moment passes. There's also the question of what The Rock's role in WWE even is anymore. He's on the board of directors for TKO. He's a businessman involved in WWE's corporate side. Does that change how fans perceive him? Does it make him less cool, less rebellious, less of the people's champion and more of a corporate suit? Some fans have already started viewing The Rock differently because of his TKO role. He's not just a wrestler making occasional returns. He's part of WWE's power structure. And that's a very different dynamic that might affect how his appearances are received. Vince Russo saying The Rock's return won't matter is classic Russo. He's being provocative. He's making a bold claim that will get people talking. That's what Russo does. But buried in the provocation is a legitimate question. Has WWE waited too long to capitalize on The Rock's star power? Have the falling ratings and The Rock's absence created a situation where casual fans have moved on? Has The Rock's bad press damaged his drawing power? These are all valid questions that WWE should be asking themselves as they plan for The Rock's eventual return. The reality is probably somewhere in the middle. The Rock returning will absolutely generate attention and buzz. It'll get mainstream media coverage. It'll spike viewership for whatever show he appears on. But will it have the sustained impact WWE needs? Will it bring back lapsed fans permanently? Will it reverse the ratings decline? Probably not. The Rock is a temporary boost, not a long-term solution. And if WWE is banking on The Rock to save them from declining viewership, they're going to be disappointed. The Rock can create moments, but he can't fix systemic issues with WWE's product that are causing fans to tune out.